Hi again. We've discussed, I think, a lot of dark themes by now over the course of my channel, and a lot of them are dark because they've involved the loss of human life. Sometimes in videos I've made, this is completely on accident, kind of like a byproduct of other dark things going on, or mistakes or accidents, things like that. They're ultimately not intended to cause death, but other times it is intentional. Other times it's very, very intentional. So we're going to talk about murder today. You've probably heard before, it's a pretty popular fact about murder is that the most likely person to kill you is someone you already know. While I don't think that's information that's shared to make you paranoid of the people who are closest to you, I think it's kind of a testament to the intense emotions that can really be going on when someone is murdered. These emotions, not only are they intense, but they're usually deep rooted. There's some kind of history going on, and you see this a lot in situations where there's jealousy or anger going on. In the case of serial killers, I don't think it's so emotionally charged. I think that serial killers can absolutely have a lot more nuance to the reasons they decide to take human lives, and the whole psychopath term in itself is honestly really kind of outdated, and I could make a whole video on how that kind of actually is rooted in villainizing mental health in general, but the point here is that people get murdered for a lot of reasons, but the one common thread is that there is a motive and that these people do it for a reason that justifies the behavior in their minds. That reason, however, it can be really not rooted in reality at all, and that's where something like delusion comes into play, I think. That being having an idea or belief that is separate from reality. This might sound out there, but I think delusions can be more common than people give them credit for. Maybe not delusion in the sense of something that impacts someone's everyday life in a negative way, which would make it a symptom of a mental illness, but I mean more so delusion of the sense that it impacts the way you perceive reality, even if it's not necessarily in a negative way at face value. But take religion, for example. I think religion, the idea of it, it's a very human thing. It's very well intentioned, too. I mean, a lot of people use religion as a means to understand and relate to the world in a positive way, in a way to think they can do good in the world. And I think for a lot of people, religion can be a good thing. I have not seen this myself, I'll be honest, but I I really want to believe that there is a healthy way to practice religion in a way that can benefit both your life and the lives of people around you. My family, no longer a part of my life really, but they developed a certain mindset that the certain situations and realities we were living through day by day, even when they were very harmful, they held the belief that it wasn't necessarily their place to step in and fix it. So instead of doing that, they would pray that it would get better, and if it didn't get better, then that meant surely some god or higher power intended for it to be bad, for some greater good that would ultimately come out of it. There is definitely a separation from reality when believing that you do not have to be accountable for the issues in your life because of some higher power that is going to fix it. I certainly don't think it's said anywhere in the Bible that you should just let your kid be point being, there is power in belief and how it shapes your perceptions. Back in 2007, there's also something that kind of ties into this. I read about a case where someone with dissociative identity disorder um, had some alters who had vision and some alters who did not. Scientifically, there was no reason that their level of functioning in their eyes should fluctuate as much as it did when they dissociated into different identities. But this dissociation, this separating from this identity into another, it quite literally changed how they perceive the world. I just think this goes to show that the human mind is so nuanced and complex and hard to fathom at times. It can convince itself of just anything, I think. That's just how powerful it is. It can convince itself of anything. Humanity is what made religion, and I don't really think our perception of God would be the same without the human brain to spin it into what it is. I don't think the concept of God would exist without humanity to describe it. It's almost beautiful in a way, but it's also terrifying, genuinely. Because for all the good the human brain can do, it can also go beyond ruining even good things. Humanity can and has torn itself limb from limb, all in the pursuit of doing something good, of fixing some kind of perceived flaw, or redeeming itself, or trying to contribute to something that's bigger than humanity itself. We, as people, want to believe that there's something bigger going on, because people, in comparison to the universe, we're small and insignificant. It's just the human condition to want to believe there's more going on, that in a way we're not alone. Because we want to find something greater to look for, we're gonna go searching for it, even in places where it's not really provably there. I don't know if all murder cases are really malicious or meant to be an evil act, or even intentional in the way that people feel like there is no other option but to commit that act. But I'd like to think that most people really wouldn't do it unless they truly believed they had to. Maybe that's the human in me wanting to assume the best, and it's absolutely not to say that all people are good people at heart. As much as I would like to believe that no person is an irredeemable monster, I don't think that's true. But whatever the reason for a death, I think getting caught up on it, ruminating on it, obsessing over it, while we ourselves are living and there is life all around us, I think getting caught up in something like that can ultimately kill you too, and it's probably for the best that we focus on what we have rather than what we had. And I think it's just important to remember to take care of yourself, I guess. And things can get rough, but you gotta remind yourself too that you're human and you're alive, and the same can't be said for everyone. So there's kind of a bittersweet beauty in that. So I hope you guys have a good one, and I'll see you guys next week.